Last time on Southeast Gassers, from the very hot Union Dragway, we saw Jerry Dean, who has become the de facto definition of dominance in Superstock, continue his undefeated season. Todd Oden also continued his winning ways in C-Gas. B-Gas saw Daniel Haynes in the Patriot take the win from Mike Blackwell in Thunderstruck. And in A-Gas, Todd Blackwell rounds out an amazing day of competition with a solid win. We know why you're here. It's for this crazy good, competitive gasser action. So buckle in. You've been called to the staging lanes. Here we go. Welcome to the Southeast Gassers coverage of the One-Way Technologies Summer Nationals in London, Kentucky. It's the halfway point of the season for the Southeast Gassers Racers Association. London Dragway is a beautiful 110-acre facility that adjoins the Daniel Boone National Forest. Today, it hosts the One-Way Technologies Summer Nationals. With rain threatening, we get started. David, give us the call for round one of Superstock.
All right, first pair out right here, going to have Don Wilmot and the number 4 qualifier versus number 5 qualifier, Brian Dalton. Wilmot streaking away right there as Dalton lays over about mid-track. So, unfortunately, Dalton with some problems. Don Wilmot going to move on to second round.
How'd that pass go?
It did good. I'm just still learning how to drive it. I just put a new transmission in it.
You did?
Yep. G-Force.
Do you have another one? Or are we done for today?
No, I have another run.
You have enough time?
Oh, yeah.
All right, then I'll leave you alone and let you get to work.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, now we got Dalton off the top. We're ready for the next pair here in Superstock. It's going to be Mickey Holston, the number 7 qualifier. He's going to take on his friend and the guy that lives in the same town as him, Randy Keeper, the number 2 qualifier in the Spine Tingler. 1956 Pontiac Chieftain right there, the big wagon. The car of choice for Randy Keeper. He's got a 406 cubic inch Butler race engine underneath the hood right there on those 7-inch spec Southeast Gassers Superstock tires. Huddleston into 62 Bel Air sits in the quick time performance lane. Randy Keeper with a nice launch right there, and that's all it's going to take as he out 60 foots him and takes the win. Keeper will move on to round number 2.
Mr. Ray.
You're getting pretty good at this.
The interview or the racing? I don't know.
Tell me about how that pass went.
Not bad. I think we found a few things, and it's been good. Launch has been good today. So maybe I got something from Mr. Dean today. I don't know. One can hope.
How's the track?
The track is great. Track is on point. These guys are fantastic about taking care of the facility is great and the track's great, on point. So we're happy.
Hopefully see you next round.
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Yep.
So the number 3 qualifier right here, Alan Lovelady in the underdog. He's out of Hayden, Alabama. The 67 Camaro sits over in the Morgan Johnson's lane to the right side. And Ronnie Jones out of Knoxville, Tennessee in his 67 Camaro, the Crimson and Clover. Gonna try to knock off Lovelady right here as he is the number 6 qualifier here today. Good drag race right here for Superstock coming down the line. And Ronnie Jones takes the win right there over Alan Lovelady in the narrowest of margins.
How'd it go?
Went good. My first round win in this. Tickled to death.
How long you been out? How many rounds have you won?
This is my first round win, only my second race. Knoxville was my first one. This is my second. It feels great. It's hard to believe, really.
Any changes for next round?
No, I'm gonna leave it the same. It finally hooked. It wasn't hooking in qualifying, so it finally hooked right there. So I'm gonna leave it like it is.
Well, thank you, race guys.
Right. Thank you very much.
We'll see you next round.
All right. Thank you.
All right, the number 8 qualifier, Kim Haynes, is going to be in the mortgage option side. He's going to be taking on the Lacey's Spring, Alabama driver Jerry Dean, the number 1 qualifier here and winner of the last 6 races in Southeast Gasser competition. He won our 2023 finale and has swept this year, not losing a single round of racing here in our Superstock category in 2024. Trying to knock him off is going to be Kim Haynes, and that's going to be a tall order in anybody's book, as Jerry Dean has been running on mean all year. So beginning to end, it is Jerry Dean moving on.
Tell me about the pass.
That's a pretty good run. We've had to take clutch out today because the track changed a little on us from last night, but not a big deal. And we hope to get faster as the night goes on, but because of the air and stuff. But car's doing pretty good. Track's real good. It's just the tires we have to run. You have to be careful. But other than that, track's fine. I mean, and everybody's seeming to get on it pretty good, you know. Yeah, you know, we do a lot of testing, we do a lot of dynoing, we just don't go home and rest, you know, and we found some chassis stuff that's helped it a lot, some gearing that's helped it a lot, and we got a little bit better motor. But, you know, it's stuff we worked towards. Last year was our testing year, I guess you call it, and we went to races and learned what we was doing, because last year was our first year at this, and then it's pretty cool.
Here are your results of round 1 of Superstock, and it's no surprise that Jerry Dean continues his winning ways. Let's listen to David as he gives us the call of round 1 of Seagas.
All right, number 5 qualifier, Kevin Shaw. He's going to be in the mortgage options lane, taking on the number 10 qualifier, Tony Tagenhorn. Trying to get past him right here in first round. Kevin Shaw turns on the red light right there, and Tony Tagenhorn is going to take the win. That was a little bit unusual up there on the line.
That was a big one for us. That's our first round win since we got involved in this deal, and I couldn't be happier. It went straight down, and that's all I could ask for.
That is excellent. How many events have you been through?
I think this is our 7th or 8th event, I believe. So, yeah, we're trying, plugging away.
Okay. Any changes for round 2?
Probably not. Just try to put some fuel and let this Ross Racing engine eat the best we can.
Perfect. We'll see you next round.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
So next pair up going to be Jesse Bieber and Brad Wimberly. So Wimberly out of McDonough, Georgia, the number 4 qualifier here today, taking on the Hagerstown, Maryland racer. Jesse Bieber is the Voodoo Child, the number 11 qualifier. So Wimberly going to move on to round number 2 right here, where he'll take on Tagenhorst in the next matchup.
I felt pretty good. I haven't let the time slip yet, but the car felt pretty good. Cooler air is making it feel a lot better anyway. So we'll see.
This track seems to be on kill.
Oh yes. Both lanes are good, very equal, and cars are hooking up good.
Worth it any changes for round 2?
We're gonna go back to pits and think about it. Always gotta change something.
All right, number 2 qualifier, Jared Perdue. He's going to be over in the mortgage options lane on the right-hand side. He's going to take on the number 13 qualifier, Ernie Smith, in the quick time performance lane on the left side. Jared Perdue takes the win right there.
What you may not know is that every time a car wins, it must go across the scales. In this case, Jaron Purdue lost his front axle. Chris Smith, who runs the scales for the Southeast Gassers, tell us what's happening right now.
All right, now over here in this car here, we have a car called a Stud Muffin, driven by Jaron Purdue. He broke his front axle. He won the race. If he can fix it, I'm gonna go ahead and pull him across the scale so he can get it fixed and go around to the next round.
You've got to love the dedication of these Gasser racers. Now back to David for the rest of your C-Gas round.
All right, next up going to be the matchup with Bill Wilson out of Gaffney, South Carolina, the number 7 qualifier in the Troublemaker, that 1949 Studebaker truck. He's going to be taking on the number 8 qualifier, the 78-year-old Ron Allison in Poppy's Toy 2. Ron Allison takes the whole shot win right there as he was out ET'd badly by Billy Wilson.
Well, hey there. How'd it go?
One around. Great.
Tell me about the track.
The track is very tricky. Can't get a handle on it, but we're trying.
How did the car feel?
Car feels great going straight down the track. We just got to hook up.
Gonna make any changes?
Yes.
Lots of changes?
Not lots, no.
Okay. Well, you're a race car driver. You gotta make changes.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta justify the in-between round. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
See you next round.
Tasha McLemore sits over in the mortgage options lane in the 55 Chevy called Your Huckleberry. They bought this car out of one of our Southeast Gasser, Texas racers. She is learning her way around right here in her first year of competition. Tim Hall out of Abbeville, South Carolina, our 2-time and defending world champion here in our C-Gas category in his 1967 Rambler, the Scalded Dog. Leaves them on the starting line, and that's all it's going to take as Tim Hall takes the win start to finish.
Yeah, I built a new engine with a new combination at the beginning, in the off season, and we just had a hard time trying to figure out what it wants. We swapped everything. This race I put a different set of heads on, just trying something, and it's doing okay today, but it's not what I want. It never is. It's never fast enough. You can't be too fast. You can't have too much horsepower.
The track looks like it's on kill, though.
Yeah, the track's good. It hooked real well. It had a good 60-foot, good time. Yeah, it's not bad. So hopefully we can just keep whittling away and get it even faster for these later rounds. So.
Scott Wallace in the Indian Express, the 1952 Pontiac. He's going to be over in the mortgage options lane on the right-hand side. The number 9 qualifier, Alfred Adams, will be in the quick time performance lane. Alfred Adams, the number 9 qualifier with that Fulton competition motor underneath the hood right there. He sits in the quick time performance lane. Scott Wallace, once again, in the Indian Express, being brought up to the beans by his wife. Looks like Alfred Adams has had some trouble out there, so this is going to turn into being a bye run. Scott Wallace takes this one.
How goes it?
Goes well.
Tell me about that pass.
It wasn't a very good pass. I saw him red light. The car pulled a little bit in the lights and didn't get a good pass I wanted, but we're moving on.
It's with it, right? That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Last one out is going to be our number 1 qualifier who has a bye by being that number 1 qualifier. That's going to be Todd Oden out of Birmingham, Alabama in the Double X, the 1958 Delray with one-way technology horsepower underneath the hood right there for him. Looks like he's going to make a run for elapsed time as he's going to run Ron Allison in the next round.
Well, that was a bye run, but it was a good, smooth run. The car laid down a beautiful pass. Not quite as good as the run before, but I think we're going to go back and change tires, and I think that'll put us right back where we need to be.
Can you just talk to me a little bit how you're on a good run right now?
Right.
But at any moment, any one of these other cars can put you on the train.
Yeah, I promise you right now, the competition is so close. One bad light, one missed shift, a few thousand RPMs difference, your day is over. I mean, you're loading up and going home. So it's so important where we leave the line, every little shift point be perfect, and the car performing. And in thick air like this, 1,000 RPMs is do or die.
CGAS round 1 results are in, and if Jaron Purdue can get his car put back together, he'll have a bye in round 2. The skies continue to threaten rain, and we run down for round 1 of BGAS.
Mike Blackwell going to be in the quick time performance lane in his 1955 Thunderbird called the Thunderstruck. Gene Fulton Power underneath the hood for him. He's going to be taking on Rick Varner, the dirt man out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, with his 1955 Chevy. Mike Blackwell takes a hard move toward the left-hand wall and has to get out of it, and Rick Varner gonna take the win right there, the number 8 qualifier.
Mike Blackwell was way ahead of him in qualifying, and we worked on the clutch a little bit and got a little bit faster, but I think Mike had some problems coming down the track, but I'm just glad we got another round.
As I was saying, Kobe Welch gonna have a competition single right here as Kelvin Cannon has broken and is unable to make this round of racing. The difference between a bye and a competition single is a bye would be already predetermined by the number of cars in the bracket. Next up, Daniel Haynes, the Patriot. He sits in the quick time performance lane with his Patriot sponsored by Flatwood Customs, Rob Ionario, and All Outdoor Furniture. He's going to be taking on Art Copeland out of Buford, Georgia. That beautiful Barracuda that's named Ain't Done Yet. A little bit of a story behind that, as we said earlier. Copeland absolutely destroyed and barreled. Daniel Haynes start to finish right there as he puts it in the book and moves on to round number 2.
Tell me about that pass.
Oh, hey, that was a pretty good lick. That was a pretty good lick. It was the fastest lick so far today.
Really?
Track's good, air's getting better, car's getting faster. We're picking up.
You think this is going to thin out a little bit? Air's a little thick right now.
I think it's thinned out a little. It's definitely cooled a little. So I think things are looking up. Got a hard road to hoe next round. I think I'm probably going to have Ted McKee in the second round. That's going to be a barn burner. Hey, that one's going to be big.
The Hillbilly Hoodlum, that 1960 Ford Falcon, sits in the mortgage options lane with Greg Adams out of Winchester, Tennessee behind the wheel. Kentucky driver right here, Kevin Burton, the number 1 qualifier in his car called the Second Coming. Can't remember who he told me built the motor. I know he's got one-way heads on there. A lot of help from One-Way Technologies underneath the hood for him, as he has really got that car performing well. And folks, it is for sale. Kevin Burt marches on, taking that number 1 qualifying spot and moving to round number 2. All right, the double down of Michael Oden is going to be over the mortgage options right-hand lane. He's going to be taking on Bill Revels. Bill Revels, the number 6 qualifier out of Canton, North Carolina. Oden, the number 7 qualifier out of Birmingham, Alabama. So the 6 versus 7 matchup right here. The winner, to their credit, is going to get the number 1 qualifier in Kevin Burton. So Rebels in the quick time lane. Mortgage options lane, the choice for Michael Oden right here as they get ready to get it on here in round number 1. Michael Oden getting over close to the wall, but he takes that to the win. So a little bit of a mini upset right there, a 7 over a 6.
Well, that pass was as perfect as I could get it. I changed pretty much everything I've been doing all day. I've been having problems throughout the entire day running 6s. Absolutely horrible number for my class, but that run we just got it back down to a 5.7. That's where I like it, and I'm a lot happier with that.
Gonna make any changes?
No, I'm gonna leave it how it is, and we're gonna see how it goes.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Ted McKee, the defending world champion, sits number 4 today in qualifying in the Rocky Top Missile out of Lenore City, Tennessee. Gene Fulton Power Plant underneath the hood right there for the defending champ, and he's going to be taking on another former champion, Ken Rainwater out of Kimberly, Alabama, the number 9 qualifier here today in his car called the Renegade. which sits in the mortgage options lane. Ken Rainwater takes the win right there as Ted McKee stumbles on the line.
Struggling. Just keep changing stuff, trying to find it. We've been fighting gremlins for 2 races, and Ted had us covered by a mile, and we just, I don't know, went for it. Looks like I got him on the starting line, and it's my lucky day. Ted's a tough competitor, so I'll take this one and back up to the next one.
That puts round 1 of BGAS in the books. Daniel Haynes will be going up against Ken Rainwater, and could today be Michael Oden's day? We'll find out. Let's get to your A-Gas action.
Cox race engine underneath the hood for Zach Hall in the homegrown. And Zach Hall going to be in the quick time performance lane. Ian Christopher in the Happy Days going to be up here first, the number 4 qualifier. He'll be taking on the number 9 qualifier in Zach Hall. Strong run by Ben Christopher, so he'll move on to the next round.
Well, it's getting a little better. Playing catch up from yesterday. Tried a couple things. I'm just putting it back. Got a bunch of moisture in the air, so I think performance is down a little bit, but went well. As long as I get my time slip and keep going here, I guess. One round at a time.
Number 3 qualifier Todd Blackwell in the slingshot. He'll be over in the mortgage options to right-hand lane. Kenneth Phillips, the number 10 qualifier, in the quick time performance lane here on the left-hand side. Todd Blackwell moves on, and he'll take on Ben Christopher.
Well, that first run was exactly what I wanted to do. I believe I was tied with Kenneth in the points for second place, and for him to go out early, it's unfortunate for him, but good for me. So that means that if I can continue this streak on and maybe go to victory lane again, maybe I can be up there with Leslie and be a contender with him in the first spot.
The car sounded really good.
Yeah, it's feeling good. Actually, that was the fastest run I've made today. And so I wish I would have done that in the qualifying. Maybe I wouldn't have had to, but anyways, it's good. Hopefully it'll keep getting better.
Third pair out, going to find your number 1 qualifier, Leslie Horn, in the quick time performance lane. He's going to be taking on the number 12 qualifier, Alan Pittman, in the Pittman and Ford 41 Willis. Will be over in the mortgage options in the right lane. Both have Gene Fulton motors underneath them, 477 cubic inches for Leslie Horn. 451 cubic inches is the motor of choice for Alan Pittman. I'm telling you, if Pittman gets this thing to where it goes straight, he can stay in it for a full pull. Leslie Horn may have his hands full, but we don't know. That's why we're going to race him out here on this racetrack. Man, Alan Pittman continues to struggle with the horsepower application to the chassis, but I'm telling you, it's there, and Leslie Horn makes a strong pass as well.
Threatening all day, it finally came. The rain. You've seen it all season here with the Southeast Gassers track personnel doing an amazing job getting these tracks prepped and back in shape. All puns intended, this was the perfect storm. It rained a little too long, and when it stopped, the concern wasn't just getting the track dry, it was getting enough heat built back up in the track so the compounds that are used for tires to grip so that compound could work.
We're trying to get this track dry, Ray. It's pretty dry all down at the start line and all the way up through the finish line. It's just up here on the top end. It's got a little bit of moisture standing on it. You know, it's trying to dry up. I've been running back and forth here in a car trying to get it to dry, going back and forth, but now we've got a bunch of golf cars out here just circling around. I was trying to put heat in it, going back and forth and stuff, but I've got so many golf cars out here now I can't really do it. But anyway, I think we're going to get this in. There is no curfew here. We're trying to get this thing in. Hopefully we get back started, we can roll right into it and get it knocked out. It's just amazing that the people's even trying. We thought we was going to get it in. The sun was shining. We've been battling rain all day today. It's just been a few drops, just enough to mess us up.
The sunset, meaning the track temps were going away because no cars were going up and down it. With all hands on deck to try and put some heat back in the track, the crews, the racers, their families, and the fans all were out on the track trying to get some heat built back up. It's moments like these that it becomes apparent that these men and women are not just competitors, not just friends, but also family. After 2 hours of prepping the track, David, let's see if it's enough to get these A-gas cars down the track.
All right, in the fourth pair out right here, Greg Snell's going to be in the mortgage options lane on the right side. And again, Martin Short in the quick time performance lane on the left-hand side. Snell's the number 5 qualifier, and in a real humdinger of a race right there, Greg Stelz picks up the win.
Four-hour rain delay.
Yep. Great.
The first A-gas car down the track. It's a pedal thing.
Yeah. No good. I mean, I blew the tires off right away, and Martin got out a little bit on me. And then he lost control a little bit, and I was like, I still got a chance, so I just pedaled a little bit, and I ended up getting a win out of it. So it definitely was a little sketchy. There's no doubt about that.
So obviously the goal would be to try to put a little more heat in the track.
Yes.
We're late for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to do.
Yes.
Right? And get cars down the track.
Yep.
What's your prediction?
Yeah, well, if there is a round 2, it's going to be pretty hairy yet, I think. We'll see what happens when the next guy's coming down. See what happens. But, oh yeah, well, we're ready. We'll stay all night if we got to. We're ready to go.
We had a little bit of a rain delay here in Kentucky. Things got wet, then things got damp. We had a lot of help trying to dry that track off. We had a lot of people out there with golf carts, cars, everything we could to try to dry the track off. We went for it, and it was scary. We had Marlin short temper. Both of cars got out of shape. Marlin crossed. Greg didn't. We get the win. We don't like to get the win that way, but it was scary. And we beat him, but it was sketchy. After that, they called it. It's too dangerous out there to send these cars down it. They're too fast. It's just not a good combination. So that's it for tonight.
Will we pick this up in North Carolina?
I think that'll be the plan. We'll do this maybe Friday night or even Saturday prior to the race. So we'll see what happens.
After that wild ride, it was decided to call the race. And with more rain in the forecast for the next day, it was determined that they would wrap up this race at Mooresville, North Carolina, our next stop on the Southeast Casters Association Race Series.
Well, I think they made the right call because if you saw the last 2 cars trying to get down the track, there's just too much moisture on the track, too much moisture in the air, and there's just no way to get the track dry, so it's just not a safe situation to be in.
Come out today, learned a lot of valuable stuff, ended up number 2 qualifier. Was looking forward to first round. Rain got us, and racetrack got a little scary, but we were willing to go down it. But it wasn't gonna be pretty, but we would have tried it.
What's really went on here today is Mother Nature. Mother Nature throwed one at us. We had several small sprinkle showers. The track guys were on the track, dragging the track. We never lost the track. We were 5 minutes away from going, and it came a downpour. We lost the track before we could get the track back. The sun went down. So Mother Nature got us 2 ways there. We just never could get the track back. When we tried to go back to racing, it was just too dangerous. We definitely don't want to get any of our family, but any of our family in that situation where someone could get injured. We ended up out there with probably 24 golf carts or better, running up and down the track, everybody having a ball, cutting up, having a good time, just trying to help dry the track. But at the end of the day, it turned out to be that it was just too dangerous to run on. We'll be running this. We'll finish this up on Friday night, and in the first 2 rounds of qualifying, or the 2 rounds of qualifying in Mooresville, North Carolina at Mooresville Dragway.
So through the power of perseverance and some tricky editing, we pick right back up where we left off in the middle of round 1 of A-Gas. So it would appear someone forgot to hit the record button early on Friday and we're missing a little bit of audio, but that gives me the privilege of giving the call. So here are the last of round 1 in A-Gas. It's Ray Ballou in Bad Alibi up against Chase Howard. And Chase Howard takes the win. Up next is Dean Jonas in that beautiful Agent Orange against Barry Lynn's Little Red Wagon. And Barry Lynn is moving on. And here are the results of round 1 of A-Gas for the One Way Technologies Summer Nationals from London Dragway that is disguised as Mooresville Dragway. Ricky, give us round 2 of C-Gas.
As it looks like it's going to be the scalded dog Tim Hall coming down first. He has a bye as his competition did not show up. Jaron Purdue out of Adams County, Ohio. The little stud muffin, Fulton horsepower. Just purchased this car about midway through the season.
All right, tell me how it went today.
Well, we crossed the center lane on that pass. It's been going left all day, so hopefully we can get it figured out for tomorrow. But thank goodness it was a bye run. Hopefully it doesn't affect anything, but good thing there wasn't a car in the other lane. That's all I can say on that.
Did I hear transmission? Since you got here, you put a transmission in?
Yeah, we've done some
rear
changes.
end.
Yeah, we've made a few changes, and it seemed to pick it up so far if we could just get the thing to go straight. But everybody seems to be going left in the right lane, so maybe let's try the left lane.
Next pair out, Tony Tagging Horse and Brad DeBreeze Wimberley. Wimberley here in the tower side. The Randy Marion lane. VP is Tony Tagging Horse. Tagging Horse trying to run him down, but it's going to be Wimberley.
Felt good. We started off the day testing, spinning pretty bad, but getting better every pass. Keep making adjustments. Got Brian Harris working on it. Things coming around.
Brad's going to run either Ron Allison or Todd Oden, a big double X 58 Delray. Ron Allison comes out of Tennessee. So it's going to be Todd Oden against Brad DeBreeze Wimberley tomorrow.
It was a good pass. It rumbled a little bit off starting line like I shook the tires, maybe just a little. Really hard to tell because I probably should have made a pass beforehand, but I got a little lazy and laid up there. I was a little hot at the trailer, so it had me off my game just a little bit on the starting line. But thank the Lord, it went down through there good, and everything went good as I could ask for.
It's been so consistent, it's hard to get out there and test it sometimes, isn't it?
It is, and you know, you don't want to break anything, but you want to make passes, and good Lord, it's fun to go down through there, you know.
Absolutely. See you next round.
All right, thank you.
And here's your results for Seagas. And remember Jaron Purdue, who had broken the axle? Well, he got it fixed, and he's moving on to round 2. It's that old adage, never say die. And now let's take a look at round 2 of B-Gas.
It's gonna be Moonbeam against the Dirt Man. Vance clutches Varner Holding out of Kannapolis, North Carolina. Rick Varner. Savannah gonna be backing him up. Good close race upper end, gonna beat Kobe Welch. Next up is gonna be Ken Rainwater and Daniel Haynes. Ken was the 2020 B-Gas World Champion. Daniel Haynes been on a tear with the Emmons, South Carolina Red, White, and Blue Falcon against the Renegade out of Alabama. Winner gets Kobe Welch tomorrow in first round of qualifying. Daniel Haynes all over the wall, but the Patriot marches to the win.
Woo, that was a ride right there. You'll get some good video out of that one, I promise. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun, but it wasn't good. But it won.
The winner of this race right here will go into the finals. Kevin Burton at Rye Burton Schroeder car was the #1 qualifier up at London Dragway. He's from Beaver Dam, Kentucky. Michael Oden moved out of Superstock into B-Gas. It's gonna be Kevin Burt.
Pass went well. Car went really good, really straight. Considering track conditions, I can't complain. Done well.
Compare the two tracks from last time you were here. Are you liking this, or?
It's my first time ever being there. It's the second pass I ever made on this track, so I don't have a lot of input on that. London's usually always good. Yeah.
Except the rain, right?
Except for the rain. The rain hurt a lot.
Do you have any big changes coming up for the next round?
No. We're all good.
Well, good luck.
Thank you, man.
Here are your results for B-Gas. Let's get into round 2 of A-Gas.
It's going to be Chase Howard over here in the Randy Marion lane. Going against Greg Stels over there in the VP lane. Greg out of Wapak, Wisconsin. Chase Howard pulled it out on the upper end.
Man, what a great hit. We've been battling a few little gremlins, lost some ET. We finally got some ET back. We definitely needed that round. It was a very close race. I couldn't do it without my dad, my fiance Bonnie, my brother, Scotty Cannon. Their Pro Mod crew's been helping me a lot, teaching me a lot of lessons, and it's showing off. And we're gonna try to win 2 of these races tomorrow.
Blackwell over there in that slingshot in the VP lane. He is out of Campobello, South Carolina. Here in the Randy Marion lane. He's out of Bowling Springs, South Carolina. Todd was the #3 qualifier at our London race. Ben was the #4 qualifier. Blackwell's in, Christopher's in. He did not let out, just like Daniel Haynes, but Ben Christopher.
Thank you, sir. It spun it to hit. It was both of us was kind of ugly probably, but I pedaled it, was able to get by him. So on to the next round.
I think that's one of the things that I appreciate the most. The drive. You guys are doing the drive. Shifting, the pedaling.
Yep.
Trying to keep the wheels down.
Yep. Track's not so good. Hopefully it'll be better tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chick Magnet, Leslie Horn. Mary Lynn in that little red wagon. He's made some passes. Leslie has not today. Leslie Horn, that high gear up there, drove away.
Well, that pass was the remaining round, well, not the remaining round, the second round of the London, Kentucky race that we got rained out on. I was thinking when I come in here, I had a bye run, so I didn't make no practice runs earlier, so I was a little bit timid when I put up there, but the old Chick Magnet pulled through, the old Fulton horsepower, ram clutch, G-force transmission, pulled through to the other end.
The six so consistent though, it surprises me that you still want to make test passes.
Yeah, that was another thing I told him, you know, as far as beating up on the old car, and I'm doing double duty this week because I'm driving the big ass car for Wayne. I told Wayne I wasn't gonna beat my car up, I just beat his car up, but anyway, it worked out. We on to the next round. You know, Barry might have got off on me a little bit. I'm not sure. I could see him there, but when I went to third gear, I couldn't see him no more. So I don't know what it was. I hadn't even looked yet, Ray.
And here's your results for A-Gas. For those keeping score at home, it's time for the semifinals of Superstock. David is back in the seat. Thanks again for the calls, Ricky. Let's get to some Superstock action.
It's like Jerry Dean continues his dominance in this class.
You got the big bounty on your head right now.
Yeah, they got a bounty on us, and somebody will collect it, probably Kiefer today, but, you know, nobody wins a mile. Sooner or later you meet your day and that's all you get. You know, we understand that. It's a lot of fun, and I'm sure a lot of fans enjoy hearing about it and that kind of thing, but to me it's just another race.
Well, we'll see you in the finals.
I appreciate you.
Ronnie Jones has not made the call right here, so this will be a competition single for Randy Kiefer, where he'll take on Jerry Dean once again in the finals. These guys come down to the last few finals, being the last two standing.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of hit that was, but it felt really good. So, you know, but looks like we got Mr. Dean in the finals again.
This is a trend. Like,
yes.
You guys are dating.
We really need to break the trend. I love him to death, and I like to date him, but I need to change.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see you in the finals.
Okay, buddy. Thank you.
Here's how your final in Superstock is shaken out. Jerry Dean gets Randy Kiefer. Let's get out here and do our C-Gas semifinals.
Todd Oden in the quick time performance lane in that big 58 Delray. MTO Motors, one of the sponsors right there for him on the side. You see his wife Gina Oden bringing her husband up to the line. Wimberly over in the mortgage option side going to have Mary Beth Haynes as his backup girl, bringing him up to the line in his 62 Comet. He calls it the Southern Sizzler. Lamar Walden race engine under the hood for him. Todd Oden taking the win right there in convincing fashion.
That's a solid first round win. There's nothing to write home to mother about, but we got through, and that's the main thing, just to get through on that hot racetrack. I was worried about blowing the tires off of it. Against a great competitor like Brad Wimberly, you can't make a mistake.
Well, you go, you're in the finals.
I'm there. I just want to give me a trophy. I love both trophies.
Out of Peoples, Ohio here in the stud muff, the 1962 Chevy 2 wagon. This car's won 2 world championships in its previous ownership here in the Southeast Gas. And then we have Tim Hall from Abbeville, South Carolina in the mortgage options lane on the left-hand side. He is a two-time and defending world champion in our C-Gas category right here. So back-to-back championships for Tim Hall, and he is the man chasing Todd Oden right now for this points championship in 2024, trying to be the first man to three-peat ever. Sharon Purdue in a race that was decided by 4 thousandths of a second at the line.
Feels pretty good. Looks like we slowed down a little. Hopefully we can get this stuff picked back up here in a little bit, because Todd, I think Todd won, didn't he? He's not going to be easy to handle, so we'll just have to take it from there.
And you've been fighting the car a little bit.
It seemed to be pretty good that pass. It spun bad. So if we can get it to hook a little bit, but you know, we was the first few cars out. Hopefully with some rubber will get put down, and we'll be right where we need to be here come next round.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably the track, not the car. It's awful hot out there.
Yeah, it's awful hot, and they ran us first. It'd been nice if they ran some of those other guys, you know, but it is what it is, racing. The track's the equalizer.
There is your C-Gas Finals. Todd Oden will take on Jaron Purdue. David, give us our B-Gas semifinals.
And with him knocking out Michael Oden last night in a very close race, he gets a bye here in the semifinals by virtue of being that #1 qualifier. So Kevin Burt in the second coming. Burt out of the Kentucky area, making the drive down today to be here. Car pops out of gear on him. Kobe Welch in the Moonbeam and Daniel Haynes in the Patriot. Kobe Welch, our 2022 B-Gas World Champion in that Moonbeam car. Daniel Haynes marches on to the next round.
That was a pretty good one. We got out on a kind of green track, man, with semifinals on a green track that we usually qualify on, our slower qualifying run. We made a pretty good hit. I think I cut a pretty good light, made a good hit, got around Kobe. Kobe's a bad man, that's no small feat.
What are you going to do different for finals?
Not a thing. Not a thing. I might even keep the left lane.
And your B-Gas finals are the second coming against the Patriot. David, give us a call for our A-Gas semifinals.
All right, the Quick Time Products performance lane right here. Going to find it Chase Howard from Greer, South Carolina in it. In the USA 1, the 1967 Chevelle. And he's going to be racing Ben Christopher out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina, in his beautiful 1966 Chevy 2, 451 cubic inches of big block Chevy under the hood for Christopher, as he is trying to make it to the finals to face off against Leslie Horn. Winner of this one goes to the finals. Chase Howard goes hard to the left. Ben Christopher keeps it straight. This is going to be a tough one. Ben Christopher takes the win.
Well, it stumbled a little bit on the line, and I thought I was done, but I just kept on going. Something must have happened to him. He must have come toward the center line a little bit. He must have had to pedal it. But I shot right by him, and thank goodness he had to pedal it. If not, I think he ought to have been dead in the water there.
How's that track feeling in the heat?
I'm not sure. I missed the hit, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what happened. So I'm hoping it's going to come around next round here.
Well, we'll see you in the finals.
Thank you, sir.
There's Leslie Horn in his Chip Magnet, the 1955 Chevy right there. Horn, the #1 qualifier at our Kentucky race, the 22 world champion in our A-Gas category, the 19 world champion in our C-Gas category. Blistering run right there by Horn.
How's that track feeling out there?
Well, the track actually felt really good that time down through there. You know, I had to run the B-Gas car a while ago to make a lap, and had to loop around here real quick and get back up there. I forgot how hot it is in these cars, jumping from one to the other and being in a hurry. But the old car done good. It's the Gene Fulton round clutch, G-Force 55, Chick Magnet, pulled on down through there. I hadn't even looked at my time yet. It felt like it was a good run though.
Are you living every racer's dream because you got a car you get to thrash on and a car you get to drive?
It's totally different cars, Ray. You know, that little B-Gas car, you know, you had to turn it 10,000 and then
this here is like right the opposite. You can turn this in without just going to jump across the stands. But yeah, it's different. It's different. But like, it's a lot. It's a lot on me trying to go from car to car and it being B and A. If it was C and A, it would be a little bit better. But just B and B and having to run right back around and go again, run right back and go again. It's rough with old fat guy. Bald-headed fat guy.
Well, congratulations and good luck in the finals.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you, Power 2 TV.
Well, it looks like Ben Christopher and Leslie Horn will battle it out in your A-Gas finals. You've come this far with us at the One Way Technologies Summer Nationals at London Dragway that suspiciously looks like Mooresville, North Carolina. Here's David with the call for your Superstock finals.
From our London, Kentucky race, so this is the final. Jerry Dean going to be racing Randy Kiefer right here. So Jerry Dean going to take the mortgage options left-hand lane that he went down lane. It's going to be that 1956 Pontiac Chieftain wagon. That is Randy Kiefer with that 406 cubic inch Butler Performance engine under the hood. Randy Kiefer with the drop on him at the starting line, but that is not enough as Jerry Dean takes the win.
Jerry, tell me about winning Kentucky. How did that feel?
You know, that was great. Had to wait a long time because it rained on us and they finished it here and we fortunate enough to win it. And you get nervous because you know you got 2 races, you know, to do it. And but I couldn't do it without my sponsors and my help. You know, Karen Mitchell, David Richardson, Dennis Mitchell, David Dean, and Buck Rogers, and G-Force Transmissions, best transmission in the world, and Ram Clutches, best clutch in my mind in the world, and got to thank One Way Technologies for their stuff. They're good.
So you've added another win. You're dominating this season.
We've been very lucky.
How's that feel for you?
Well, it feels good, but you know it's not over yet. So we got a lot of work to do, and we need to keep trying to improve.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, Jerry Dean. With only 4 more races to go, can Jerry continue his winning ways? Here's your finals in C-Gas.
Odin going to be in that right-hand lane, the quick-time performance lane that he was in the semifinals, round 1 of qualifying. Purdue won in that same lane, but now he finds himself in the mortgage options left-hand side in the stud muffin. Our gas categories have absolutely ramped up with competition. These guys are in all classes. Anybody can beat anybody out here, and I mean that very seriously. Todd Odin takes the win right there, so the big double X takes the win.
Tell me about winning London.
Well, it was a good race, and I tell you what makes it the best race for me is it was sponsored by One Way Technologies, and that's the guys who put our engine package together for us, and that makes it a little extra special. It's 2 years in a row we've won the race that was sponsored by One Way, and like I say, it's just a great group of guys to be associated with.
You had about a month off, right?
Right.
Between London and here. Did you do anything to the car?
We mainly just nut and bolted it, went over everything. You know, we pretty much take all the clutch stuff apart, the transmission out, run the valves, check the valve springs, just your normal maintenance, change oil, you know, look everything over, cut the oil filter apart. Just what I would say would be normal maintenance, but as far as changing any hard parts, we did not.
That's your normal program.
That's
right?
that's a normal thing between every race.
Okay. And was it harder to kind of get into the spirit of the race, or easier?
It may have been a little bit harder because you always want to finish the race at the track you started at. It kind of gives you a little more satisfaction. You know, when you come in and it's great to get a win, but I think it's a little more special to finish it up there because you're still on that high of winning, you know, at that event, and all those guys would have been there from One Way. And I hate they're not here today because, like I say, winning with them being the title sponsor made it a little extra special.
Todd Odin continues to show he is the man to beat in C-Gas. Congratulations, Todd. Let's get some B-Gas finals. Let's hear it from David.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
First win.
Yeah,
Tell me how does that feel?
it feels great. You know, I didn't think I'd ever make it to this spot here at one of these things, you know, but I got good people helping me. I got a really good car. I got my grandsons help a lot, and I'm very fortunate. Very fortunate to be here. I've been in the winter circle a lot when I run dirt, and this was a lot harder, a whole lot harder.
You're in a tough class.
No doubt.
And all these guys want to win. So
Yeah.
what's next? What's the next big thing for you?
Do a little work on the car. We're gonna chassis dyno it and try to find a little bit more. I want to stay in their heads all I can.
Okay. You want to thank anybody before I mean, it's your first win. This is
Well,
your
I'd
big
like
speech.
I'd like to thank a lot of people, but I ain't gonna remember half of them. But the main one I'd like to thank is my guy that built my motor, and the guys that got the parts for me for the motor, and that's Bobby Molosky. He built it. Jeff Jones and them did all the upper end and all that stuff for me. Jeff messages me, prays for me, and all that stuff. Love that guy. I can't thank him and Chris Grace and them enough for what they've done for me, and very thankful. My wife, you know, and then my two grandsons, Jackson and Gavin, you know, they helped me a lot.
Well, I guarantee this is not going to be the last time we see you here.
I hope not.
Kevin, congratulations on your first win in the Southeast Gassers. I have a feeling this isn't going to be the last time we see you in the winner circle. Okay, it all leads up to this. Here is your A-Gas Finals.
Well, Ray, it's done good. I can't believe we pulled it off. Didn't think we was going to, but here we are in the end. The Fulton competition, G-Force, Ram Clutch, 55 Chick Magnet was running good today. So today was my day. Yeah, the layoff, it really didn't bother me too much. We didn't do much to the car other than fresh the clutch up. We was pretty ready to go when we came. I think I told you earlier, I thought the car was making some noise and I thought it was going to change the engine. We didn't. We stuck with it, and the car done really great here. I was glad to be here and win the London race after we got rained out, and glad to get this race in.
Perfect. You want to thank anybody?
Yeah, let me think. I want to thank Logan Horn, Brian Harris, Carburetor Bob, Kathleen. God, there's so many. Gene Fulton, he's here somewhere. Definitely Pat at Ram Clutch, Pat and Mike, Roby at G-Force, and that's about it.
Perfect.
My back pocket.
And there you have it. Leslie Horn in the Chick Magnet takes home another A-Gas victory, another exciting event in the record books. We appreciate you sticking it out with us. For the Southeast Gassers and PowerTube TV, I'm Mike Narks. We'll see you next time.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.